Magandang araw, Pilipinas. Welcome po sa DOST-NGO Facebook page at YouTube channel. Ito ang programang una sa mga napapanong balita tungkol sa teknolohiya at inovasyon para sa maya. Naihatin sa atin mismo ng DOST Secretary for Trato, Boy de la Peña. Magandang araw po, Boy.
Magandang araw din sa iyo, Onin, at magandang araw sa ating mga taga-subaybay.
Oras na para makibalita sa mga updates tungkol sa at teknolohiya sa mga riyon at sa buong bansa. Mula mismo yan kay Secretary Boy.
Katulad ng dati, narito ako upang magbigay ng update sa mga accomplishment ng DOST through its agencies and regional offices during this week. As we are following the format of the 4K, so unahin ko muna ang report tungkol sa kalusugan, susundan ng report tungkol sa kabuhayan, sa kaayusan at sa kinabukasan. So allow me to start with the reports on kalusugan. The first report comes from the DOST Philippine Council for Health Research and Development regarding their partnership with Isabela State University for the project on the isolation and characterization of bioactive peptides from coconut. So this DOST-PCHRD funded project is led by Isabela State University main campus Professor Jose Blanch Abukay Jr. And it aims to isolate and characterize the bioactive peptides from the hydrolysates of total soluble proteins of coconut fruit. One of the most important agricultural commodities in the Philippines, coconut meat is rich in fats and calories and contains moderate amounts of carbohydrates and protein. Even though it contains a considerable amount of proteins, studies on the functionality of coconut proteins are still limited. Moreover, coconut proteins are discarded as a waste product by the coconut oil industry. So in this research project, different bioactive peptides derived from coconat meat were isolated and characterized to provide baseline studies on the limited information on the bioactive peptides found in coconut meat. The second report on kalusugan comes from the DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute, or DOST FNRI, and this is their launching of the first nutrition physiology laboratory in the Philippines. So this is the only nutrition physiology laboratory that is not found in hospitals. This is primarily for research purposes, and I have personally seen the facilities there. Okay? In fact, I tried going to the test like yung aking bone density, etc. And this actually, the nutrition physiology laboratory has the theme embodying nutrition, improving health and quality of life. So embodying comes from the words energy, metabolism, that is M, body composition. Okay, so this was actually, the launching was conducted using a hybrid form of launching. The Nutrition Physiology Laboratory is one of the outputs of the DOST funded R&D program entitled Healthy Aging Program for Pinoy Senior Citizens. So the laboratory showcases the synergy of 4 key components of human nutrition research: metabolism, physical activity, body composition, and nutrition. Now, the third report, and this is regarding the report of their balik scientists on improving the capacity in metabolomics in the Philippines. Improvement in scientific outputs and scientific and research capacity in research methodology in metabolomics was presented by Dr. Gerard Brian Gonzalez, a balik scientist for metabolomics who was hosted by the DOST FNRI. So the presentation was entitled Omixena Angkor, Prospects in Metabolomics-Based Nutrition and Health R&D in the Philippines. And during his presentation, balik scientist Dr. Gonzalez provided a quick review on the science of metabolomics, okay? And he also provided a walkthrough of the accomplishments, including the inception of the Philippine Metabolomics Network, okay, here in the Philippines. Now, the last report, actually, it's not exactly kalusugan, but I'm happy to report that when I visited the Bicol region, okay, the Philippine Science High School students in the Bicol region campus actually gave me some kind of tribute in the form of a concert using the bamboo musical instruments produced by our Forest Products Research and Development Institute. And actually, it was also their first time to meet face to face. Okay, so I was very happy that they were already using the results of our research in producing, okay, bamboo musical instruments that are found in different parts of the country. Now we will move to Kabuhayan. The first report here is the opening of a one-store hub in the province of Rizal. In fact, it is in San Mateo, Rizal. It is the 7th one-store hub, and it is the first in the Calabarzon region. So the DOST, through the support of DOST Region 2, which is the one-store national program focal region, they collaborated with the Estancia de Lorenzo, which is located in San Mateo, and launched its 37th one-store hub last May 28 at the Estancia de Lorenzo. As the host region, DOST Calabarzon welcomed and pledged its commitment to support the successful implementation of the project. And this will mean that enterprises and entrepreneurs which were assisted by DOST, initially at least, will be invited to use the one store for the marketing of the products, both through the one store hub and through online ordering and delivery. The next report is actually a project of the DOST National Capital Region, and I really enjoyed this. It is a food fest that was held in Lucky Chinatown, and the enterprises which displayed their pagkaing Pinoy products, which are actually indigenous products and those that they develop themselves, are actually the small enterprises that were assisted by DOST National Capital Region, okay, with the use of technology. This was anchored on the theme, an exploration of science, gastronomy, and heritage. And the event featured the unique history and culture of various food products that can be found in Metro Manila. For example, the balut of Pateros, the lechon of La Loma, the putong pulo of Valenzuela, the everlasting of Marikina, and many more. So it was really a nice experience to go there. They had the food fest for 3 days to be able to see what are the products that are being produced then and now, okay, and particularly those that have been produced by DOST technology beneficiaries. The next report, still on Kabuhayan, is a collaboration between the DOST National Capital Region and the DOST Forest Products Research and Development Institute. And this is the hands-on training that they gave on bamboo technology to persons deprived of liberty in the city of San Juan, Metro Manila. The idea here is that we want to give an opportunity also to persons deprived of liberty to be able to earn some income. The next report comes from DOST Region 6, okay, which provided pineapple decorticating machines to fiber-producing and weaving communities in Lemery and Pasig City, Iloilo. Actually, 2 units of pineapple decorticating machines were provided in Lemery and in Pasig City. These units were actually purchased by the Iloilo Science and Technology University, or ISATU, using the funds provided by DOST Region 6 under the Community Empowerment Through Science and Technology Project, or CEST. As you know, one of the components of our community empowerment through science and technology, one of the interventions there is on livelihood. And definitely, this will be a big boost to the farmers and to the processors of fiber coming from pineapple in these 2 towns, that of Lemery and Pasig City in Iloilo. The next report is actually a report coming from our DOST in region, both in region 9 and 10. And this is regarding the assistance given to a purple yam processor operating in both Osamis City and Dipolog City. And the assistance, actually, this is the purple yam homemade cakes and pastries. Okay, so this is really an assistance given to purple yam homemade cakes and pastries located in Osamis City. And I think they have also a branch in Dipolog City. And the assistance enabled the firm to semi-mechanize its operation, okay, which reduced production time and increased production volume. From 300 cakes a day to 800 cakes a day. That is a 166% increase. And of course, they are now employing more people or more workers in the expanded operations. So the funding that was extended to this setup beneficiary is around 516,000 pesos, and it enabled them to acquire the needed equipment so that they can improve their technology in production. The next report comes from DOST region, Northern Mindanao region, or DOST region 10. And this is a happy news regarding an Iligan-based small enterprise which is owned and managed by a young DOST scholar graduate. First, he was given a certificate of product registration by FDA, okay, with the help of DOST, and also he was able to open his company to franchises. Now, the name of the company is Pater Al Kuwait, an Iligan-based small enterprise owned and managed by DOST scholar graduate Rexaniel Saburnido. And it is all set to reach its market milestone as it reaps the benefits of science and technology and innovation in its business operation. So Pater Al Kuwait is now catering to a broader market of customers. Its special palapa, it's a food product, is now available online through Shopee and through various locations outside of Iligan, especially in Ororama Fogon and Ororama Carmen in Cagayan de Oro City. And to further answer the demands of customer outside of Iligan, Pater Al Kuwait has opened its doors to franchises, with its first franchisee coming from downtown Cagayan de Oro. This is only this month of June. So the new branch will continue to advocate the food safety and the food quality standards set by the firm's main branch in Iligan. Okay. Now, the next report is still on kabuhayan, and this is a report regarding the startup techno firm products coming from the DOST-assisted Technological University of the Philippines, Visayas Technology Business Incubator, saying that their products are now in the market. Actually, I saw this when I visited Bacolod, because the Technology Business Incubator is located in Bacolod City, although the campus of TUP in the Visayas is located in Talisay, Negros Occidental. And so the startup firms that were helped by the DOST and TUP Visayas, and of course their business incubator is called Hive, HIVE, and the companies which I saw were Plantsville Health, Iotech Corporation, and Maker Academy. These were the startups I saw when I visited this place. For example, Plantsville Health is a social enterprise which advocates for the conservation of Philippine cinnamon for livelihood and also climate change mitigation. So they have several products using cinnamon, and one of their products is also the planting materials for cinnamon. Now, the other company is called Iotech Corporation. It is an advanced wound care management company using negative pressure wound therapy. It has already developed the product at up to 95% level, and its full functionality has been tested and used in hospitals. It is comparable in performance to commercially available but expensive system, and at a fraction of the cost. This will make healthcare more accessible to marginalized Filipinos. The third startup company is Maker Academy, and this is a subscription-based model for STEM education, or science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. The company provides robotics, programming language, and other technology training and workshops to schools, companies, and the public. Its module comes with a workbook that will guide the teachers and students in assembling the hardware and the sequence of programming. Actually, the innovation hub, which they call Hive, HIVE, operated by the Technological University of the Philippines in the Visayas, is fully equipped with locator, startup offices, a conference training area, common equipment, and they are ready to provide support to startups, particularly focusing on technology, engineering, and social entrepreneurship. The next set of updates are coming under kaayusan. The first one is a report by our DOST Metals Industry Research and Development Center, which turned over to the Philippine Navy their Buhawi prototype project. This was done on the 124th founding anniversary of the Philippine Navy last May 20. Buhawi is short for building a universal mount for heavy barrel automated weapon integration. And it is one of DOST's support R&D projects to the Department of National Defense Self-Reliant Defense Posture, or SRDP program. It is a remote controlled weapon station that aims to increase the firepower of the Philippine Navy. Another project that was turned over by the DOST MIRDC and the DOST National Capital Region is the automatic truss rake facility, and it was turned over to the local government unit of Malabon. This was done last May 27, 2022. And it will be installed in Letre Creek, located along P. Aquino Avenue in Barangay Tonsuya in Malabon. The automatic truss rake, which can collect up to 5 cubic meters of solid waste in an 8-hour operation, will keep floating debris, leaves, and other solid waste from entering the Malabon-Tulyahan River system, thus improving the city's flood control operations. It was also partly funded by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, specifically by the Environment Management Bureau. So this particular facility or equipment hopefully will also be adopted by the other local governments, particularly those which has estuary systems passing through their municipality or city. The next report under Kaayusan comes from DOST Region 10 or the Northern Mindanao, and it says they have poured technical support for disaster mitigation in Bacolod, Lanao del Norte. The DOST in Lanao del Norte has recently poured technical support in disaster mitigation in the municipality of Bacolod, Lanao del Norte. The assistance, which amounts to 770,000 pesos, is to be used for the procurement of 2 units of automated rain gauges and 1 unit of water level monitoring station. The project is under the Community Empowerment through Science and Technology program, and the turnover of the project funds was done last March 24, 2022. And finally, I would like to report that I have been to the Mindanao State University in Jensan today, and I have heard the report on collaboration between MSU General Santos and DOST, and was very pleased to note that we have several ongoing collaborative projects between DOST and MSU General Santos covering engineering, agriculture, and also fisheries. And they have reported that actually 60% of their external funding for research has come from DOST, and this amounts to 78 million pesos between the period 2017 to 2020. So this is all for the accomplishments in kalusugan, kabuhayan, kaayusan at kinabukasan for this week. Maraming salamat sa ating mga taga-subaybay.
Maraming salamat po, Sigboy. Natungin po ninyo ang kabuuan ng DOST updates para sa nagdaang linggo. May nais ka mang malita, maaari mo itong balik-balikan, bisitahin lamang ang aming website, dosttv.ph, o download ang DOST TV app sa inyong Android phone para pwede ka manood ng DOST Report anytime, anywhere sa aming pagbabalik. At ating mga kasamang ilan sa mga DOST partner, NGO o non-government organizations mula sa iba't ibang reyon sa bansa. Huwag po kayo mag-retiro. Pabalik pa ang DOST Report.
Flavors of Science. Kikilitiin namin ang inyong pag-iisip, pati na rin ang inyong panlasa sa mga kaalaman tungkol sa siyensya sa likod ng produksyon ng pagkain. Ibabahagi namin ito sa aming official Facebook at Instagram pages, pati na rin sa aming YouTube channel. Mag-like, follow at subscribe na sa DOST Picard.
Kayo po'y nakatutok sa DOST Report, ang programang una sa mga napapanong balita tungkol sa agham, teknolohiya at inomasyon para sa bayan. Maraming programa ng DOST para sa taong bayan at marami rin mga non-government organizations na nakikipagtulungan para mapalakas ang kanilang advokasya at mga proyekto upang maiangat ang kalidad ng buhay ng bawat Pilipino.
Mga kaonin, at mula sa mga science and technology projects at mga resulta ng ating mga pag-aaral na sa research and development, ay katuwang natin ang mga non-government organizations. At ngayong araw nga na ito ay inimbita natin sila. Makakasama natin ang ating mga partners katulad ng Philippine Foundation for Science and Technology, ang Negros Volunteers Foundation, at ang Social Action Committee ng Diocese of Boac. Hopefully, ma-share nila yung kanilang mga karanasan tungkol sa partnership with DOST.
Apostle Boy, ang mga kasama po natin, Mr. Luis Jose Araneta, Production Manager and Food Security Project Manager ng Negrense Volunteers for Change Foundation Incorporated. Si Engineer Filimon T. Berba Jr., Chairman of the Board Philippine Foundation for Science and Technology. At His Excellency Marcelino Antonio Malumanan, Maralit Jr., Bishop ng Diocese of Poa. Magandang araw po sa inyo.
Unahin na natin, Onin, si Mr. Luis Jose Araneta, ang Production and Food Security Project Manager ng Negrense Volunteers for Change Foundation Incorporated. At ito ay nakabase sa Bacolod City.
Ang Negrense for Change Foundation, mga kaibigan, ay isang NGO na binuo ng mga pribadong individual noong August 2010 sa Bacolod City. At nakataon po ang programa ng NBC sa livelihood, education at nutrition. Magandang araw po sa inyo, Sir Luis.
Good afternoon po.
Una sa lahat ay nagpapasalamat kami dahil pinagbigyan tayo ni Mr. Araneta ng panahon para dito sa interview na ito. Araneta, na i-share niya kung ano ba yung collaborative project between the Negrense Volunteers Foundation and the Department of Science and Technology.
Yung partnership with FNRI in the formulation of Mingo meals. No? They gave us the original formula with sesame seeds, but we tweak it and use moringa instead. No? So pinalitan na namin yung ang sesame seed into moringa. Mingo meal is made of rice, mongo, moringa with 4 variants now. No, we have the original, the choco, squash, and ubi. So that's what we produce. No? Then we got the extruder from the DOST, our first extruder, year 2012. Then on year 2015, we got another pulverizer and industrial dryer. Now this helped us in our production. In 2020, we also availed of the setup project of DOST for the amount of 2.8 million for purchase of another extruder and vacuum fryer. Because our extruder, the old extruder, is already about to retire. So we got another extruder to the setup project of the DOST. So far, that is what we have from DOST through FNRI.
Paano naman, sir, ang inyong assessment sa pagpuprioridad ng DOST sa kanilang mga programa, proyekto at aktibidad?
Actually, ang priority ng ang assessment namin is really okay, but there are some program and projects that we cannot avail because number one, we don't have the equipment and the space in our area anymore. No, so we dedicate ourselves in producing only the minga for the feeding program. Now, Mingo meals for the feeding program of the company.
Oo, Onin, nakakatuwa ang Negrense Volunteers Foundation kasi hindi lang sila sa Negros Occidental gumagawa ng kanilang serbisyo para sa mga bata. Ang pagkakaalam ko ay mahigit 30 provinces na yata ang naaabot.
Provinces po. We are in 60 provinces throughout the Philippines. 60
provinces na pala dito sa kanilang proyekto na ito. At alam naman natin as a private NGO, talagang sila rin ang naghahanap ng resources para maisagawa nila itong kanilang proyekto. So, Mr. Araneta, pwede mo bang banggitin naman kung ano pa ang inyong maimumungkahing mga proyekto sa ating kolaborasyon sa hinaharap?
We really want to have a joint collaboration in research and development, no? Because we have plenty of projects in mind that we want to put into the project, but gusto namin mag-partnership talaga sa FNRI on R&D. Okay. Marami pa kaming ibang project. Right now, Secretary, we are already producing what you said, the cocoa flour.
Cocoa flour.
Yeah, we already done the experiment, and I think it's a little. We have success in that
Wow, natutuwa po ako dun sa news nyo na yon na nag-eksperimento na kayo with cocoa flour.
Right after you left the factory, we did the R&D already, no? So we did a small R&D and small quantity that produced para pag okay, then we can replicate it into commercial volume.
Ngayon po yung mga kasama natin si Engineer Filimon T. Verba Jr., Chairman of the Board ng Philippine Foundation for Science and Technology of PFST. Ang PFST po ay binuo noong 1984 ng mga pribadong individual bilang tugon po sa panawagan ng gobyerno na magbuo ng isang environment of science, conscious and literate youth. Sa loob po ng 37 years ng PFST, marami na silang baon na karangalan gaya ng Outstanding SME Foundation, First Gawad Awardee for Exemplary Leadership at marami pang iba. Magandang araw po, Engineer Verba.
Well, the Science Foundation was set up about the mid-80s, no? And we've always had the support and collaboration of the DOST. Our purpose has been to expose our young people to science, the science subjects, to get them to really see it and touch it rather than just read them in the books. What we have been able to do before the pandemic was the Science Centrum located in Marikina has been visited by as much as 70,000 kids every year, no? But in addition to that, that is the Centrum in Marikina. In addition to that, we move all over the country. We would go to a town, a city, and stay for about 3 days to 5 days. And the kids from the adjoining communities, they are able to touch and experience. But in addition to have the kids exposed, we have to train the teachers, no? We have regular teacher training program on science. So we have been to more than, maybe at this time, maybe more than 400 towns and cities in the country, no? So that's been, in fact, with the help of the DOST, we have touched the lives of about, as of now, about 21 million people, students and teachers. Unfortunately, when the pandemic came, nobody could travel. So we had to adjust ourselves to online exhibits. And this has been also supported by the DOST. We go online teaching of the teachers, online exhibits, which of course is good, but not good enough because you don't really experience the scientific part of these subjects. So nakikita nila how certain principles actually work. So they go in there and experience it. And the teachers actually, they stay for about 3 days, about 25 to 30 to 50 teachers sponsored by certain private sectors, no? So supplemented, of course, with the DOST. So we have to align the teachers to the needs of the students. So far, in our cooperation with the DOST, we have been to Mindanao, to the Bangsamoro area, and we have been to all those provinces on Bangsamoro. We have also been, with the support of DOST, we have been to Mimaropa. We have also established little mini centrum, the different places, no? So far the mini centrum, we have them in Marawi, we have them in Caraga, we have them in Zamboanga. So a number of those, you know, when you go there on 3 days, they get excited, but they also want to have something that stays in the locality. So we have mini centrums in several places already with the support of the DOST. So we have also some projects lined up for implementation with the support of the DOST. In fact, one of them is the thing about the space technology, just to expose, because you always read about this thing. So meron tayong exposure to space technology. So far, we have a number of these things lined up for the year with the support of DOST. Naka-line up yan, some for implementation now, some for implementation in September. But basically, they are still in the virtual. But we don't think that this pandemic will last forever. No? So we are preparing ourselves for renewal of the actual the exhibits, but that may take a little while. No? So that's so far what we have. As I said, since the middle 80s, DOST has been backing us up. And we hope that as time goes by, DOST will continue to be there on our side to prop us up. So far, that's what I would like to share.
On your side naman po, paano yung inyong assessment sa pag-ibigay prioridad ng DOST sa kanilang mga programa, proyekto at aktibidad?
Assessment of the projects that we get from the recipients of these projects, not those who experience our presence. They have always been very positive in their response. So the best assessment is not an assessment by us, but an assessment by the recipients of the benefits. But now, as far as our assessment on the DOST, we have no complaint. We've been over the years with different management of the DOST, we have been very happy of the kind of support we get from at all levels. No, so assessment, yes. Thank you very much. I hope that will continue.
At napakalaki rin naman ang tulong ng Philippine Foundation for Science and Technology sa DOST in terms of creating that kind of environment para ma-inspire yung ating mga bata to study, take careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And ngayon nga ay may 5 ongoing kami na regional centrum na nabuksan na yung sa Palolete, nabuksan na yung sa Boac, sa Marinduque, nabuksan na yung sa Kawayan, Isabela, at yung dalawa pa ay ano na rin yan, natatapos na rin. So sa experience mo, June, ano pa ang pwede nating pag-collaboratean na mga programa?
Actually, it's not all the money, no. Yes, the money support is very important, but the kind of programs that you have and how we align ourselves, we consider ourselves the implementing arm of the programs of the DOST.
Yes.
The programs we implement with your support. So we've always talked that way inside the foundation. We consider ourselves in a way a part of the DOST as its implementing arm. We need to have private sector support, no, complementing the DOST support. But since the pandemic, we have only 1 or 2 private sector able to support us.
Maraming salamat po, Engineer Felimonte Berba Jr. Ngayon naman po, mga kapatid po natin, His Excellency Marcelino Antonio Malabanan, Paralig Jr., Bishop ng Diocese of Boac. Ang Diocese of Boac ay isang DOST beneficiary ng Complementary Food Production Facility sa Marinduque. Malaki po itong tulong para sa mga kabataan at mga residente dahil nagkaroon sila ng pagkakataong makabili ng mura at masustansyang pagkain na gawa mismo ng mga residente sa kanilang lalawigan. Magandang araw po, Bishop Marcelino.
Magandang araw din, Onin, at kay Secretary de la Peña. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat din na nanonood dito.
Bishop, pwede mo bang ikwento naman kung ano naman yung ating collaboration, ang DOST at ang Social Action Committee ng Diocese of Boac sa Marinduque?
My pleasure din naman po talagang maimbita kasi I think it's worthwhile yung pagsasabi ko at pagkukwento ko nitong mga projects because I think this is the path towards a better society, yung collaboration between government and all other institutions that could help it. Sa amin po, napakaraming projects Sabi ano sa akin, maikling kwento pero I'll try to be as short as possible. Sa dami ng projects, hindi ko alam kung kayang magiging maikli. We have had a lot of projects in different communities. One, ang meron po kaming isa is yung paggagawa ng walis tambo. DOST has been a very big part of that and I think more than 4 years na yung project, still here. Apektado lang last time noong pandemic but still ano pa rin naman, thriving lalo na sa local need for walis tambo. And we have been going to an agreement with also DepEd doon sa mga nagagawang walis tambo. At quality walis tambo po yan. Another project that we have had a collaboration with the DOST is yung soya processing center namin, which before was to produce soya milk. But our clients are the students kasi sa schools. Alam naman natin pong specifically in public schools dahil bawal ng junk food. So talagang in demand yung mga soya milk. But with the coming in of the pandemic, nagka-problema uli kami sa aming market. But nag-adapt. Instead of soya milk yung main product, naging na siya tofu. And yung tofu namin, which is nabebenta naman namin sa mga restaurants, became the main product po nitong lately nung soya. But we will be going back to soya milk siguro when the schools reopen para sa face-to-face po. Bigger, yan. Another project that we have is the Malunggay Crackers that we call. It's a collaborative project with DOST and DTI and DOLE, if I'm not mistaken. But the technology is basically DOST. And this has been a project since, if I'm not mistaken, 2015 or even earlier. And it still is there. Here pa naman po siya. But the pandemic also affected it because of our market. But we are reviving it again this year with the return of the people in the normal life or the new normal that we know. Another project that we also have is the Ringo curls or the rice mungo snacks that we have. You have recently visited in our opening and inauguration of the center. And it is a collaborative project with you, wherein our market is also big because it's the DepEd. And it is really a project which is really helping a lot of our people from the bukid sa aming mga farms because some of them are working there and also our social action is benefiting from it. And then of course narin din po yung aming candle making center which also again is a project in collaboration with DOST. Has been here in our diocese since 2014 if I'm not mistaken. And it continues to be a project that has significance sa community namin sa Santa Cruz, Marinduque. Another one is yung paggagawa po namin ng Coco Jam. Another project that we have in collaboration with you is yung Coco Jam Processing Center. And then we have another one is the Virgin Coconut Oil Processing Center naman sa Buena Vista, Marinduque. And if I'm not mistaken, we also have another collaborative project in Torrijos that is making yung parang mga food products din po. So yun po, out of my mind, yun po yung mga alam kong collaborative projects as of the moment that I know of and remember.
Bishop, paano naman po ang inyong assessment sa mga pagkaprioridad ng DOST sa kanilang mga programa, proyekto at aktibidad?
Well, as far as my assessment is concerned, ang tingin ko is it's evolving. Una yun, ang aking assessment, it's evolving. Because I think every once in a while, the changes of secretaries also change. Yung minsan yung priorities, hindi ko alam but I have seen that. But at the same time, nag-evolve din yung nagiging priorities ng DOST in as much as yung collaboration is concerned. And I think it's getting better naman. Getting better because it is now not only presenting projects, but it is also about learning from the collaborations that we have had and our partners kung ano yung needs. And I think lately, obviously and evidently, some of the projects have been in response to certain needs ng kada province, or at least in our part, in our communities na nakakasagot yung ano ng DOST, yung collaboration. So I think it's evolving. Second, it's getting better. And third, I think it's also it's also becoming very responsive. In fact, I have given some suggestions to DOST on certain things that they have to do also. Like for example, yung partnership, hindi lang iiwan yung project, kundi sana samahan pa accompaniment. And they have been doing that lately. So I think if I'm being asked, or if I give a positive assessment or evaluation to the projects that we have had in collaboration with DOST, I think napakaganda po ng mga nangyayari.
Sa tingin ninyo, Bishop, sa base sa inyong karanasan, ano pa ang pwede nating maging collaboration na may kinalaman sa science and technology?
I think ang dami pong pwedeng puntahan ng collaboration. One of the collaborations I see that we could develop is yung pong agricultural technology. Specifically kasi ang aming island has a lot of potential because it is by volume one of the highest in as much as numbers of coconut trees. But it is also one of the islands that has parang wala namang industry connected to coconuts. So I think there is a lot of potential there, whether it's making yung coconut bricks, whether it's virgin coconut oil, any products from the coconuts. I think technology will really play a very important part. So isa po yun sa agricultural. A second collaboration, I think, where we can work together, and I think it's very important then because the island used to be a mining island. And I believe malaki talagang potentials namin, not for mining but for the enhancement of whatever is still there as minerals. Not for mining, but I think technology has a lot of things that it can do. For example, yung pong iniwan ng mines. What can it do with the mine tailings? I've heard of recent studies that say that it can be used for making batteries. I do not know because that's something that I've heard and read about. But for scientists and technological engineers, they might have ideas about it. How to use our water system. Meron kami dito hong mga hot springs din. So I think that could also be and then the third, I think, is for energy. As of this moment po, may mga problema pa rin kami sa kuryente. I mean, no matter how we put it, because it's an island, we are still using in a lot of ways yung generator type of source of electricity kasi island po. I think technology will play a very big role in as much as communities po how technology can help a community have electricity, light, no matter how small the community is, na hindi siya dependent doon sa normal na source of energy namin, which is basically fossil fuel. Ano po? I think those are some of the collaborations we can still work on. And kung meron pa hong sa papuntang business, more on the agricultural siguro ang I think makakatulong talaga ang DOST. So clearly, since we are an island province, ang isang medyo iwang kami siyempre is technology din. What do I mean by that? If in other places, for example, yung Wi-Fi signals are always at par na with international standards and even a little bit less. Siyempre, sa isang island like us, we are atrasado pa. We're still at the back of the groups wherein we're still catching up, ika nga nila. So that's one. Second, of course, is even with the electricity, we have a certain level of sabihin na nating stability. More often pa rin, we still experience brownouts. So I think in the matter of technology, baka may maitutulong pa doon. Isa yun, no? That's another, I think, issue that we have in the island. Another issue that we have is, of course, water. Even though we're surrounded by water, it's all seawater. So one of the problems that we have in the island is a stable source of water, which I think, again, technology will be playing a very important role also. So basically, I think those three things are on top of the list. And then, of course, nariyan na rin anything that would help us develop our agricultural and, if I could say, ecotourism characteristics. Kasi as an island, we have this reality of being an agricultural province. So anything that would help us with our agriculture, specifically technology, if it could help the people develop it better. So that's one. And then, of course, ecotourism, one of the things that we keep on experiencing is, of course, yung katotohanan din ng our ecotourism needs a lot of updating in promotions and even in planning. So I think those are the things that we need, technology, which would be the support that DOST could give us.
Maraming salamat po, Bishop Marcelino. At dahil nalalapit na po 64th anniversary ng DOST na ating ipagdiriwang ngayong buwan, ano po ang mensahe niyo una para sa DOST? At ikalawa, para sa ating mga mamamayan na nakasubaybay po sa ating programa. Unahin ko na po kayo, Mr. Luis Jose Arbeta.
Yeah, tungkol doon sa DOST, talagang hanga kami sa mga tulong nila sa amin. No? Without them, hindi namin maabot itong amin na ginagawa ngayon. No? So ngayon, with DOST to FNRI, we hope na yung partnership will continue. No? Because marami pa kaming dapat igawain para sa Pilipinong masa.
Meron po akong i-share sa inyo that is something about what DOST is doing, not directly related sa amin, Science Foundation. Alam niyo meron kayong programa on feeding program for to prevent the stunting of kids, no? And on a personal basis, a group of us are cooperating with Mary the Queen Church, no? I think DOST has developed a menu for very young kids to prevent stunting because so many kids are affected ang kanilang mind, ang kanilang mental health, no? So I think you developed something that is for 1,060 pesos. You have developed a menu that the kids prevent the stunting, good for 6 months, no? Ganun ka, 60 pesos lang yata yung pagkain, no? Anong formulation ninyo. And so we've been cooperating with Mary the Queen, with Father Manny Flores, and we have been among those supporting, and it's made possible because of the OST's feeding program.
Okay, so una, I would like to thank DOST, of course, for having given us a chance to be collaborators in trying to help our people. And of course, I would have to greet syempre ang DOST for their 64th founding anniversary. Because truly enough, all those years, napakalaki po ng naging role ng DOST to uplift lives through technology. And I am a witness to it, and I am a witness to how it has helped a lot of people. And no matter, sabi nga kanina ni Secretary, how small the projects would seem, the impact is much, much bigger than how the projects look like. Kasi nga, it also really helps people see a kind of quality of life through technology. So again, to all those who are part of this, the DOST, my greetings, my congratulations, and may God bless you all always.
Maraming salamat mga kaibigan, si Sir Luis Jose Arneta, si Engineer June Berba at si Bishop Marcelino. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagkakaula sa aming panayam sa araw ito. Si Boy, baka may mga nais pakimatid sa ating mga sumayman.
Una sa lahat, nagpapasalamat ako sa pagpapaunlak sa atin ng ating mga panauhin dito sa DOST report kay Mr. Araneta, kay Engineer Berba, kay Bishop Maralit at ako po ay wish ko na sana ay tuloy-tuloy pa ang maging collaboration between their organizations and technology at sana madagdagan pa yung mga non-government organizations na tulad ng kanilang nire-represent para makatulong sa pagpapalaganap ng benepisyo ng science and technology na alam naman nating malaki ang nagagawa para sa ating growth and development. At napakaraming areas na pwedeng puntahan pa. Maaaring hindi natin ma-interview lahat, pero halimbawa, nung ako'y nasa Bacolod, ay na-meet ko din yung Prawn Producers Association, no? So isang asosasyon, at ako ay na pleasantly surprised na sila pala ay nag-ooperate ng isang testing laboratory, maraming sakop, biological, chemical, etc. na walang hindi gobyerno ang gumagastos doon at sila ay nag-serve sa iba't ibang clientele. Sa Leyte naman, merong isang grupo ng mga farmers na talagang malaki ang nagawa bilang isang non-government organization para sa pagpapalaganap ng mga technologies na develop namin for better productivity sa agriculture. So maraming salamat sa inyo.
Maraming salamat si Boy at siyempre po sa ating mga panauhin sa araw nito. Si Boy, imbitahan po ninyo muli ang ating mga taga-subaybay na mga sikat bukas at sa araw na linggo.
Inaanyayahan ko ang ating mga kababayan, mga taga-subaybay na panoorin muli ang susunod na episode ng Popular Science para sa lahat. At ito ay sa CNN mapapanood at ito tuwing Sabado at Linggo. Meron sa umaga, 8 in the morning, at meron sa hapon, 4 in the afternoon. Yung palabas ng Sabado, pareho din ng palabas sa Linggo. Sikat, okay? Pinoy Popular Science para sa lahat.
Okay. Salamat po muli, mga kaibigan, sa inyong mong sumaybay. Mas maraming pambalita mula sa mundo ng angka at teknolohiya ang ating pag-usapan. Kaya tutok lamang kayo ting Biyernes, alas 4 ng hapon, dito sa DOST TV Facebook page at YouTube channel. Palagi din tumutok sa mga websites at FB pages ng ating mga ahensya ng DOST para sa latest happenings nila at mga events tungkol sa iba't ibang R&D projects at mga inomasyon. Bisitahin din ang DOST Philippines FB page para di mahuli sa mga nakalinya activities ng DOST. Ako po si On Miranda. Ito ang mga balitang may kinalaman sa agap, teknolohiya at inomasyon para sa hatid ng pagbabago para sa maunlad na mundo.
At ako po muli ang inyong lingkod, Secretary Fortunato de la Peña ng Department of Science and Technology na nagpapasalamat sa inyong patuloy na pagsubaybay dito sa DOST Report.